You are live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan, as always, joined by James. How you going, James? What's something that's got you through the week?
Me and my sister made sticky date pudding, so that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also joined by Alan this week. How you going, Alan? What's got you through the week in the last week?
I, as a grown adult, man in his 30s, have for the first time finished Grand Theft Auto San Andreas without cheats.
Again, that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
It's a game I've played many times throughout the years, and it's look, the meme. All you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Yeah.
Every single time I played that game, I used cheats in that mission. I just spawn a jetpack, get on the train,
You know,
kill the bad guys, and then get off the train.
there's an easy way to do it without cheats. Is there's a part where there's like a concrete.
Yeah, there's a couple of ramps and everything else you can get on the train. It turns out you don't need to get on the train. If you just drive along with the train and follow the damn train, as Big Smoke said, he'll just kill the guys.
Yeah, well, that's what he says, but
Yeah.
he can never shoot them because his
Alan
AI is
thinks
crap.
he can.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I just followed the damn train, and he just shot the guys, and we left. And I was like, wow, this mission was a lot easier than I thought.
Only took it 20 years.
Yeah, all it took me 20 years. But I've beat the game officially. I haven't 100% it yet. It's nearly close to 100%.
Nice.
There's actually quite a few little knickknacks and collectibles for 100%. But I've finished the main story, and I think I'm about 85% to 100.
Excellent. And it's not one of those things where you're going to have to start the game again because you didn't do a mission 100% correct?
No. There is a situation where if you enable cheats and you save the game, it won't let you classify as 100%. I did enable a cheat once, but it was completely by accident. I was just tapping on the keyboard. And I guess I've hit enough characters to make a cheat, but it was fine. I didn't save the game.
Excellent. Also joined by Callum. What's something that's got you through the week, Callum?
Playing my Steam Deck, enjoying my games, relaxing at home.
Yeah, sometimes it is nice to get away from the kind of the big console energy, we'll say, and just go back to something a little more simple and kind of relaxed. It brings you back to a more kind of, I guess, a calmer period.
Depends
in
on the game.
And also the games, they can be a lot less expensive than console games. You know, if you're buying something on Steam for like $4.
Yeah, but
Turn-based JRPGs.
Oh well, yeah. Then that's a good example.
Yeah.
Or we just do a trucking convoy with the boys again.
Euro Truck Simulator, yeah. James wasn't there for that, but
No,
but we had a moment in our lives where
I
we were playing
remember-
Euro Truck Simulator.
we even talked about it on the show.
Yeah. It was a good time. Yeah.
People take that game so seriously,
As
too.
they should.
It was what there
It's
was an equivalent, I guess, game at PAX once, and we're like, yeah, got to get off trucking to get back on trucking.
Yeah. As for me, what made me happy this week is, again, being a good adult, I took advantage of the current rebate for your vehicle registration.
Oh yes, I'm going to do that.
For our Victorian listeners.
Yeah.
Get a free $180 in my bank account.
Hell yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah.
Also, fill up your petrol before it's $2.50 a litre again.
Why? What
Did
happened
they blow
now?
another thing up?
Well,
Yeah.
the excise
going off.
excise is back on,
Oh.
and the war's back on. So
well.
I thought the
It
exercise
never.
was
It
until
was never
September.
not.
no, it was meant to end, wasn't it? This week.
Oh man, I better get it.
So think about putting some
Filling
petrol
up.
in your car if you're feeling a little bit empty.
Yeah, I got to do that too.
But shop around.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll get straight into it. We have a couple of announcements and housekeeping before we get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It is PAX season officially.
Woo!
Here at the Tuesday Review, one of our favourite times of year. The time, it's the time where we're also the busiest because we have MIF, other obligations, and then PAX comes up all in the same kind of 3-month period every year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a busy season, but it's a good season.
Mm-hmm.
And PAX is coming up. We have the first couple of announcements, I guess. Well, the first announcement we've been given a chance to talk about, which is the Storytime speaker for this year.
Mm-hmm.
For audiences that don't know, there's a different Storytime speaker every year, and they just talk about their adventures, experiences, and stories that they have from their time in the video game industry most of the time.
Yeah, like a keynote speaker for
So
kick off the whole.
this keynote speaker for PAX Oz 2026 is Holly Lonsdale,
Mm-hmm.
and she is MMO indie kind of
Royalty.
producer, royalty galore.
Mm.
She's been like, the overseer, the executive producer of EverQuest, EverQuest 2, and now World of Warcraft, and everything that entails in World of Warcraft.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's World of Warcraft Classic, the new upcoming expansion Midnight.
I was under the impression it was just Classic she was in charge of.
Well, no, apparently she is one of the head honchos overseeing development of the IP. So,
very good.
That entails everything. So she'd have a lot of interesting stories, and, if we get an interview one day, we could
Good email.
Tell us some secrets.
I think she's low key one of the most exciting keynote speakers PAX Oz has had in a long time. Only because they've had some big names before, but she's interesting. Like they're all interesting, but her area of expertise is very niche, and that allows you to have an interesting discussion about. It's not like because if you get a big development head, they can't talk to you about much at all.
Yeah,
But you could ask about, so you made this decision going to your train, and then you can have an actual back and forth about very interesting areas in game development with her that you can't have with some of the bigger studio heads. Like I think they had the Bethesda head once. There's only so much he's going to be able to talk to you about.
And that is true. Some of these kind of guys and girls that you get on these keynote speakers, they're probably like, you ask them a question and like, I'll have to hand over to this guy who's in charge of that, or like, no, I want to talk to you. Give me. Let's go real deep.
Obviously, Holly will be won't be able to talk about everything everybody's going to want to know, but it's still one of those things where what an opportunity to talk to someone with her background, and also the stuff she's doing is so interesting right now.
Also, being a woman who's very high up in the games industry is interesting as well. And like her approach to some of the issues that have been leveled at Blizzard and the industry at large. It's kind of she'd have an interesting
perspective. Yeah.
She'd have an interesting perspective on, we'll say, misogyny in the games industry and other things like that. So she'd be a very interesting keynote speaker to see. And it's a good start to PAX Oz 2026.
Yeah, and there'll be further announcements.
Yep.
Yeah, and hopefully we get the chance to cover it.
Yeah.
As well as Aetherlings kicking off their Kickstarter, which we've previously talked about.
It's got 10 days to go as of this recording. We did like Aetherlings. My only concern with Aetherlings is I'll spend too much money on Aetherlings. It's one of those kind of Skylanders things. You get the figurines, and the figurines come to life in the game, which is always a nice big dopamine hit if you're a 10-year-old.
Well,
it's like
even if you're not.
Or in the mid-30s, man. It's like one of those kind of Toy Story-esque things where your suspension of disbelief is like, no, this toy lives. He lives in my phone, damn it.
Yeah, anything. Are they called gacha games? Like
it's
anything
like
with collecting.
There's that gambling aspect, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's like Pokemon-esque. Different.
We'll have more information about that as it arises. Yeah. But feel free to look at our previous content on Aetherlings.
Yeah, I think we had a YouTube video about it, maybe.
Yes, I think we did.
Yeah, with a little bit of gameplay B-roll.
Yeah. The other, I guess, housekeeping announcement we can't talk about it just yet, but we have something very exciting to talk about in maybe a month or two.
Oh, yes.
Which...
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. The NDAs and the envelopes haven't been opened yet. We're not allowed to legally talk about it. But I would say maybe tune in on the 7th of July, potentially.
Maybe, yeah.
7th or...
We'll announce it.
7th or 14th of July.
Yeah. Well, tune in every week.
But maybe listen live.
Yeah.
So, there's some exciting stuff going on in the background, which we can't wait to share with our audience as well. And we'll get straight into it. So, we had the delight, I guess in James's case, and the...
misfortune
in our case to see Kane Parsons' Backrooms.
Yeah, so I guess before we get into the movie, should we just get it out of the way? Your experience.
James had a lovely time.
Yes.
James, to keep audience in context, James went on Thursday because he lost power at home for a planned power outage.
There was a planned power outage, and I'm like, well, instead of sitting around home in the dark, it's the opening day of Backrooms, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I'm like, I might as well go out and see it while the power's off. So I went to Pentridge, which is a bit of a nicer sort of
scale.
There's no horseplay at Pentridge. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the audience there is
they're
more
very horsing around. Shush someone if they're talking.
Yeah, and they play more. They play all the mainstream films, but they also play like the art films and the foreign films. So it's like that kind of audience. So the screening I was in full, and it was a full screening, but.
It was a well-behaved audience.
Everyone was very well-behaved.
Because in my head, you're like skipping there, smelling the flowers, having a nice time.
Yeah. Now
we're in the ghetto.
Meanwhile, the boys. Meanwhile, the rest of the boys went to our local cinema at 1:30 in the afternoon, which was our first
on a Saturday.
I'm blaming you for that.
No, we blamed Callum. Callum finished his work shift, and we went after his work shift.
It's correct. It's Callum's schedule.
Yeah, so it was because Callum's
got
schedule.
home rested. We could have come in for the evening film.
We probably should have done that.
With 60% less horseplay.
It still would have been
60% more.
Yeah, it still would have been probably...
That was maximum. The only extra horseplay that could happen was a proper fight had broken out.
That's why I said... all right, you imagine, dear listener, You're going to see the Backrooms. We've got the nice seats too. You know, we planned early. We get ahead. We sit down, and the first 3 rows right close to the screen are filled with kids, anywhere from conservatively from 5 years of age to 15.
Yeah.
And the movie we'll talk about, but it's not particularly.
It's not a kids.
It's not a kids movie. It's not always engaging in a kid's way. It's not. It's It's all about tension. Kids find it boring. Do not take your children to see this movie. Right? They will find it boring.
Unless they're cinephile children.
But also, like the
Yeah.
key themes of the film is also, like
A
mental,
little grim. Yeah.
like
It's
Yeah.
a psychological
psychological
drama.
issues rather than
Yeah.
just some action. So why would these kids be interested?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
then again, some kids may be interested.
This,
They may have
I
some-
mean, this is maybe we'll go into a bit later, but the problem with the Backrooms is it started, it became such a big internet meme and was YouTube kids-ified. So
Well,
even though
it started on the Paranormal Border 4chan as a post, and then Kane Parsons turned it into a mini-series style thing.
yeah,
And then
But I'm
there's
just-
like a world building.
but I'm just saying, like,
community.
Kane Parsons' version is his version, and it's a bit more serious, and it's like a bit more sci-fi. Whereas the meme itself spawned so many crazy, over-the-top kids memes, and Sonic in the Backrooms, and you go to level 99 of the Backrooms,
Like
and
a
it's
Skibidi
like
toilet.
Skibidi toilet in the Backrooms, and it's like this level's a playground, and it became just a kids thing. So I guess kids got excited about
And
the
this
movie
is-
and begged their parents to
and this
bring
is-
them, even though the movie is not a kids movie.
And this
at
is
all.
something I think very similarly to some ways, Markiplier's film Iron Lung, right?
Yeah,
It's the same kind of situation that I feel like we're going to start having in movies when some of these YouTubers who kids enjoy are making adult films, right? So the kids go to see these adult films because they're a fan of the content that they've made.
not the adult films that Alan's
No,
thinking
no,
of.
no. Although it wouldn't have been
I was
surprising
going
to
with the
me.
Backrooms. I was going with back shots.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where it's like, I think kids need to be made aware that because your favorite YouTube creator has made a movie, it doesn't mean it's a kids movie.
Yeah, no.
And so
God forbid parents to research first.
yeah, I know.
And it's also like,
But the iPad's raising my son.
yeah,
girl.
it's
also,
like
the movie's MA.
when the
Like,
kid,
come
yeah,
on.
It's M in
when the
Australia.
kid starts
Yeah, but-
screaming that he
no,
wants
we
to see Backrooms, the
yeah,
parents
but
just
We're talking
probably gonna
about it in
give up.
Australian context here. The movie's MA. When you're taking your 5-year-old to see it and it says MA, do you really think your kid's going to get a lot out of it?
Yeah, I mean, even the trailers, like,
Yeah.
there's nothing in there that would.
Yeah, it's just the kids are screaming to their parents,
Yeah,
Backrooms,
it's
Backrooms,
just
Backrooms.
because they saw Backrooms AI slop on TikTok, and it's become kid kidified, like with
So,
crazy
yeah, so
colors and
there were-
goofy stuff.
There was hooting and hollering the entire way through the movie.
Yeah.
There was like a kid banging the seat like a drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
that pissed me off.
a
Oh,
kid
I'm gonna do
allegedly.
a correction, Nathan. It is M in Australia, which means kids can attend it without parents.
Okay.
Ah,
never
there you
mind.
go.
Which is probably explains a bit.
Yeah.
Like there were parents there. They
You know
weren't doing
what?
anything
Mario was screening just next door. Why choose Backrooms?
because
Because Mario's been out for
Because TikTok. Yeah. that's what
ages
it said,
now,
yeah.
so everyone's already seen Mario.
But it's one of those things where, like, one of the kids allegedly was like, "I've been recording this movie on my phone the whole time." I'm just like, oh, "Jeez."
Well, actually, it has leaked
Yeah.
online. People have like
Maybe it
recorded
was
the
that
whole
kid.
thing.
I was like, "Link me." No. And look, it wouldn't the I guess it wouldn't have surprised me at all if, like, the worst it could have gotten was if a kid just started playing porno in the theater on full blast. Like, but I wouldn't have been surprised. I'd have been like, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
It was legitimately the worst screening I've ever been to in my entire life, and we've had some rough ones.
Yeah.
This was by far the worst.
And there's nothing, when you get like 20 to 30 young kids who want to be disruptive, there's nothing you can do to
there were
stop them.
three. There were 3 cinema attendants standing there like guards. Once the kids realized they couldn't actually do anything, game on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you couldn't, and it's not the staff's fault, right? They couldn't have done anything except shut down the screening
Yeah.
or call the cops.
And
Yes,
like,
which-
if you're
yeah.
a 19-year-old just doing part-time work, I won't bother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're basically 15-year-olds doing that job anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like,
we could have, I think, said our cinema's been disrupted, so we want a exchange ticket.
I mean, but we sat through the whole
we
movie.
sat through the whole
so,
movie. Like
yeah,
it would have been probably halfway through. We're like, all right, let's just go to the next session
Yeah.
and get a refund. But we chose to sit through. And to be fair, like we're speaking of the whole experience. There was a period where a young gentleman got up. He stood by the stairwell.
how
to
young?
exit.
had to guess.
We're gonna say about
Teenager of some
13
sort.
or 14,
Yeah.
Okay.
and yelled out the N-word and ran away.
Oh god.
And I don't know if he meant that in the context of obviously the film, or if he meant
Oh
that,
yeah.
or if he just meant that just as a general,
Just a ruffling of
Ruffle.
feathers, yeah.
And I laughed.
I
And
told,
I
no, I'm like, stop laughing.
was like, I can't. I just had to laugh. And I was
Laughing at the situation as a whole.
God.
yeah,
right?
like it, because the whole thing, like at least there was some entertainment value in that.
Not really.
It
Alan.
wasn't the
No.
right thing, but it made the thing entertaining
No.
for me.
I want to note that
The
Alan's a
Tuesday
person of
review
color.
does not. Yeah, the Tuesday review does not condone.
No,
It was
and
just
we do
again-
not find humor in it.
It was funny. The whole disruption is all I'm saying.
Look, and to be fair, the staff did apologise to us as we were leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did say to them, look, I understand it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It
I
is what
mean-
it is. But I did, when Hoyt sent me their email saying, how did you rate this session? I did say, how was your experience out of 10? I'm like, look, it's a strong 2. It could only be a 1 if someone took a shit on the floor next to me.
Or a fight broke out.
Or a fight.
Which
broke
they
out.
could
Actually,
bump
no,
up
that
the
could be a bump
They
up the
could bump
rating,
up the
yeah.
rating.
But
It would work better if it was like a Rocky film or something. Then,
yeah. But I did say in the in the kind of the review email, the feedback, I said, look, it wasn't the staff's fault. The staff were really nice. There's literally nothing they could have done.
Yeah, if you're ever giving feedback for any business, doesn't matter what it is, and unless the staff is clearly at fault, always make sure that the problem you're
Yeah.
identifying
And
is separate from, and
yeah.
actually say
No.
this wasn't the staff's fault, because it'll go straight to corporate and they'll go
Yeah.
straight to these 15-year-olds and
Yeah.
be like, why did you do this?
No,
Why did you do
like
this?
on the feedback, it said, how would you rate the team members helpful? And
Yeah.
that was all 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you always
Yeah.
give the
And then
team
how was
members-
your overall experience?
Yeah.
2 out of 10. And I put the reason for that feedback was because the whole session was disruptive
Yeah.
and we had a bad general time, but there was nothing the staff could have done without calling the cops
That's-
or just cancelling the whole
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
And I understand.
Yeah.
That being said,
That being said,
Yeah.
what I saw of the movie was a good time.
So that's Callum, because Callum called me afterwards. He's like, that was the worst screening we've
Yeah.
ever been to. And I'm like, oh, that sucks, because I really like the movie and it's really going to be interesting to talk about it. But he was like, no, we all still really like the movie, from even though the experience we had.
it's an interesting exercise because I saw the movie, but there was no emotional connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we weren't concentrating on the film. We knew what was happening on the film,
Yeah.
but
You're always
the-
on edge.
the
that-
atmosphere just wasn't there.
yeah.
I think there was about a 10 or so minute stretch in the film where the I guess content of the scene had gotten to that more, we'll call it the emotional crux bit in a
Mm.
way. And at that point, the kids actually quieted down for once.
Yeah.
Oh,
and so it
really?
was like 10 whole minutes.
That's
roughly.
just because they got a bit tired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's a
from the
recharge.
start, I knew we were in trouble from the very start. When as soon as there was a flickering of the camera, the kids would literally make like big sounds,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Every time there was something that could be tiny scary, there's like the 4-year-old in the audience shitting his pants,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh no,
No,
like
there's
kids
kids
like screaming and making just like noises.
And there was like
Yeah.
one kid making the monkey sound.
You're like
God.
literally just making sounds.
Yeah.
There's people
Ah.
eating KFC. That's not here.
Yes,
I did call them out. I thought it was Happy Meal, but that's not here.
Anyway, yeah. The film.
Okay.
For that
So-
emotional crux scene, when the kids did quiet down, that's when I was feeling like probably what I wanted to feel for the rest of the film,
Mm.
and probably what the film would have made me feel. Because, shenanigans aside, there is quite the deep dive into, I guess, personality flaws, character flaws, people not wanting to be
Mm.
fixed or people wanting to be fixed.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool
So
film.
the film.
Yeah,
I got to
so-
quickly get up my notes and see what the main character's name
so
is again.
to start from the start, Backrooms started as a meme on 4chan in 2019.
Green
Yeah.
text.
Yeah,
Is
there
the-
was
Creepy
a,
pasta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
creepypasta.
basically
yeah.
a copypasta or creepypasta of an image of yellow wallpaper, like piss yellow wallpaper, like
80s office.
yeah, it's like
kind of aesthetic.
ugly, really ugly
Fluorescent lighting
cream,
and-
yeah, light and cream, like moldy carpet. And under that, a user of 4chan had posted the image and says something like, if you no clip through reality, you'll fall into the back rooms and be stuck in endless hallways forever. And be careful if you hear something, because there might be something in there. And it sparked like a huge
Like a community
Internet-
world building
yeah,
exercise.
exactly. So from this image became like lots of memes and video games and YouTube videos about, you fall through a certain point in reality and you end up in these endless yellow hallways forever. And over the next couple of years, it became a huge thing. And it went in sort of separate directions. One's bit more serious, other one's more kiddie, like Five Nights at Freddy's type of meme kind of playground in the back rooms and
It's escape from Epstein's Backrooms. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
that's-
It wouldn't
there's-
surprise me.
There'd be a Roblox.
There's-
There'd be a
there's-
Roblox level that's called. that.
Roblox, perfect example. It became this Roblox sort of memification game, like a game
And
of the
it's
Backrooms.
The whole Backrooms are so visually simple that it's probably quite easy for a kid to make a Backrooms level in a basic
It's just
game
yellow,
engine.
like a yellow
Yeah.
maze, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it became
and a picture of Shrek or something.
yeah. And so it became this huge phenomenon on the internet. Then in, I think, late 2021, early 2022, Kane Parsons, a 16-year-old kid, released a YouTube video, like a short film about a guy who falls in the back rooms. And it's like this shaky, it's like found footage. It's like shaky cam or handheld camera, like POV. Of this person exploring the back rooms, and his version became the sort of widely
the commercial version, if you will.
Maybe not commercial, but yeah, it's like became like one of the most popular and became kind of cemented as like, oh, this is the epitome of the back rooms. His version, with the found footage style. And he also introduced like Async, which is this company who are exploring the back rooms, and these guys in yellow like hazmat suits going through the back rooms. And the way it looked and sounded and the sort of lore behind his videos became the sort of standard for back rooms. And that's the sort of back rooms that I got into, was his videos. And I watched them all and was into the lore and the background of it. And then, meanwhile, obviously all the other outside stuff is still going. There's still lots of video games and other videos and memes, because it's basically like an open source meme idea. Just anyone and everyone was making backroom stuff.
Which is another interesting thing to talk about with this kind of, we'll call it an IP. It's not owned by anyone.
Yeah.
So what we need to do now, James, is we need to get Alum's camera and we need to make our own Backrooms movie.
We 100% could.
Because
Good.
who's going to sue us?
Yeah.
No one owns
Well,
it.
that's the
Yeah.
interesting thing. Is like some poor guy, not poor guy,
Yeah.
or girl.
Mm.
The original Backrooms was
two-
actually two separate people. One person made the image.
Yeah, so
and
one
another
person
added the
one
the
person
lore, if you will.
one person took the photo. Apparently it's like the back of an old furniture store in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And that photo was taken apparently in 2002. And then that image had been floating around the internet for
Years.
decades, over a decade, until in 2019, that 4chan user took that image and wrote that little scary story underneath, which I think people know I think the person who wrote that, but because the image has already been out there, and
So
it's like he,
and also you can't copyright a 4chan post. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see. What I would laugh is if all the studios now make a Backrooms movie to try and capitalize. You know what I mean?
Before this new A24 Kane Parsons movie, there was
There's going to be a Netflix Backrooms TV show.
Yeah, there
HBO
was
Backrooms
I
TV
think
show.
one of the American Horror Stories, not horror story, the stories like the anthology.
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
an
yeah.
episode of that was the Backrooms.
Channel Zero had a
See,
season.
now you're making me
similar.
No,
wonder
that was No End House.
if
That was
there's a
different
Backrooms porno at
creepypasta.
this point.
Oh, there 100%
Yeah.
is 100%. But yeah, so it's like
Okay, I looked this up.
before the movie, there was official quote unquote, movies and shows using the Backrooms
But it's
IP.
It's just interesting. Is it the first time in modern history that we've kind of got like a massive big breakup movie that isn't really copyrighted by anyone?
The only other one is Slender Man, but that movie was not good and no one saw it. So
but it's an interesting thing. What happens now? Is the studio going to try and be litigious about it, knowing that they don't really have a basis?
Well, they don't. Yeah, and
I mean, they can maybe copyright Kane Parsons and the.
I think there are certain things like async and the yellow hazmat suits that are like specific to his version.
they can 100%. They're good on that, right?
Yeah.
But if we make a Backrooms,
but in terms of the title,
if
and
the Tuesday Review presents the Backrooms and we have none of that, they can't stop us.
No, you can't. So
You know what we're gonna
interesting-
do? We're gonna go one step further in protection. We're gonna do parody. Tuesday Review presents Backrooms. It's just like the back room of a house or a property. It's like, this is the back room. Check
That's
it out. It's just like 100 episodes of us just going
put
to
a
place,
yellow filter on
just
it.
finding like the back room of an area and be like, this is the back room. Check it out. See you later. It's like a 15-second video.
It's just like, this is our back room.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. But yeah, so Kane Parsons' videos took off. They became super viral and became sort of the accepted sort of best quote unquote standard of what Backrooms is and what has become. And A24 contacted him, even though he was when he was like 17 or something.
16.
Yeah, and we're like, hey, we want to make a movie out of this. And so, yeah, basically when he was 18, 19, they signed him on. They shot this movie version of his lore of Backrooms. And now he's 20 years old and has one of the biggest movies of the year.
And
one of the biggest
one
openings.
Of the interesting, before we do our deep dive into the film, there's been a lot of salty commentary online. So Curry Barker and Kane Parsons have unleashed tides of salt by online commentators, and I think it's because they're so young and they're making movies, and you've got all these 40-somethings or 30-somethings being like, these kids suck, but really they never got the movie they wanted to make made, and they're complaining about it. Unlike us, who instead of complaining about it, are like, yeah, go Kane Parsons.
Yeah, go more.
People also come at this from the wrong perspective. They didn't come out of nowhere, right? Both of these guys, Curry Barker, both of these guys made significant
That's the
contributions.
Thing is, when people
to
say they were YouTubers who made movies, it's like no, they made short films and feature films that were on YouTube. They were artists and filmmakers.
They were filmmakers before.
YouTube was just the platform they were releasing.
They still learned those skills on YouTube. It's still the same skills. It's just uploaded to a different.
It's not like they were playing Mario Kart and be like, "What's up, chat? We're gonna make a movie today."
Well,
even if they did, that's
Markiplier was more that,
but like let's Markiplier
Yeah.
with What's Up Chat and doing that versus the time he took in terms of other projects he made. There was years.
But there's still filmmaking experience gained. They didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Especially looking at Kane Parsons, all of his work was done in Blender before.
Well,
that's open source 3D software. He's at home, just in his regular house.
That's the other
doing amazing creative work. On his own.
That's the other interesting thing is like he starts making these videos basically during COVID, like lockdown. He's doing school online, and he's just messing around, learning to use Blender, which is an open source
3D software.
3D software. They make a lot of games and stuff out of it, environments, and he used that. But then he put this the way the lighting is and the sound design and the VHS camcorder filter. It looks super real, and as his videos, as his short films kept getting better and better, and they looked live action. And then he started like introducing some live action elements, and so it's like it was so realistic.
I think he uses it's like Blender and then Adobe After Effects, and that's like his pipeline.
And he was so realistic, it became.
So the commentators coming out saying, "Oh, they came out of nowhere. They were just given a privilege. They're privileged." And no, they worked for
themselves.
this.
He
They
used
backed
free
themselves.
software. If that's privilege, you know what I mean? Like it's not like he was given access to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But all of these YouTuber filmmakers we've seen this year, they worked hard to get where they are.
100%.
So you can't take that away from them.
Yeah,
but anyway,
they proved themselves, and A24 said, and luckily they, I guess, didn't try to commercialize it and turn it into a Blumhouse Insidious number 25.
Well, I mean, it is
type
Blumhouse.
of. Is it?
It is.
Yeah. And
It's Blumhouse owns Atomic Monster.
and
Oh,
Obsession.
okay.
Yeah.
But which
So-
is again very impressive that Blumhouse also is
But
behind
also-
Obsession.
Yeah,
so,
so-
it's really interesting to see that
But-
Blumhouse has maybe just gone a little bit hands off. Let's not Blumhouse-ify
Yeah,
this.
no, but I think these movies are always, they were made, and then Blumhouse was like, oh, we want to help, release this. Whereas I'm talking about,
yeah.
I think the example,
The Night Swim.
yeah, that's the example
Yeah.
I always like to use. It's like, oh, the haunted pool movie. Yeah, so it's not that they definitely could have cheaped out, made a crappy. Like we just said, Backrooms doesn't really have a copyright, so it's like they could have just slapped that name on anything, made a crappy jump scare, really cheapo.
The Conjuring presents the Backrooms.
Yeah, and just really, really cheaped out and really memeified it and maybe even kidified it, made it a PG, Five Nights at Freddy's-esque kind of movie.
Yeah.
But A24 obviously is a bit more prestigious. They saw Kane's vision, and he was such a strong filmmaker with his shorts, and they allowed him to expand upon that. And bring it to the big screen, and I think we can all agree it came out really well.
Yeah.
Well, for a movie with a budget of like $1 million American,
I think under 10 I read.
under 10, whatever the case is, you can see every dollar on
Yeah.
the screen.
Oh,
and
man.
that's the other great thing about Backrooms is instead of, because he made them on Blender, but he was trying to make it look real, for the movie version, they could have easily just green screened a lot and CGI'd the hell out of it. But they put the effort into building all the sets. The number I keep hearing is 30,000 square feet of
Which wouldn't
actual back rooms.
Which wouldn't surprise
sets.
me.
Yeah. And it pays off. It looks incredible. And Kane is such a good visual artist.
Yeah.
He pre-vised the whole movie in Blender and made all the sets.
What a
And then
nerd.
the carpenters and whatever, and the set
And you
designer
can't
and
complain
stuff.
if you're like, what are we making this?
Yeah,
Feel like you can do
and
a tour.
I think that's
like,
why, even though he is so young, he's very good at what he does, and so he can explain to the other
Yeah.
people on the film, the crew, and be
Yeah.
like, "Here's what I want to do. I've already made it."
He
in
has a
Blender,
really
how
great
to-"
understanding of like the language of film.
Yeah.
For such a young guy. And
He's very technically minded.
Yeah. What's interesting is everyone not coming out, but like I said, there's lots of salt online about these guys. Someone was pointing out we don't blink an eye when someone tells us Sam Raimi was 20 years old when he
Yeah.
did the first Evil Dead.
Spielberg.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But these days, it's like, oh no, the Zoomers are making movies. I don't like that.
It's also
It's like,
yeah.
well, people have been making movies at 20 years old since the invention of film.
I mean,
How old was Orson Welles when he made his first film?
25.
And,
yeah,
and they claim that Citizen Kane is the best of all time.
Yeah. So it's nothing new. We just got done complaining about all these kids screaming in the theater, and it's like people envision young, Gen Alpha, Gen Z as that's every Gen Alpha, Gen Z is just a screaming iPad kid.
Broccoli cut iPad.
Yeah. But there are a lot of really smart, really talented young people. And Kane Parsons seems to be one of those
and
people.
Again,
People would get jealous or angry.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, these kids
And
these
again,
days.
for under $10 million, you can see every dollar. Everything's made practically. Or at least a lot of it looks to be made
pretty
practically.
much, yeah.
And the lighting in this movie is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's another great thing because
It looks like a movie.
Backrooms is scary is because
There's
it's
no shallow
a
focus to an
mundane,
extent.
bland, banal, empty office. It's this uncanny liminal space of you recognize it, but it's just a little bit off. You think that there's supposed to be people and furniture and stuff in there, but there's nothing in
Rooms
there.
aren't the right proportion.
Yeah, and as you go further in, there's there's chairs that are slightly weird proportions and staircases that lead to nowhere.
Yeah.
And
It's
this
like our
sense
world,
of-
but a little bit strange.
It's
And
just
the real fear is the traditional Zoomer fear of getting a job.
Yeah.
well, I think it comes not just Zoomers, but the whole office space, Gen X and millennial and then Gen Z. It's like this corporate capitalist hellscape that we actually live in. I think it feeds into that fear of what if you were trapped in an endless office building forever and there's just nothing and no one. It's terrifying.
Better than an endless story.
And
but that's also the truth, James.
but that's kind of what we're already
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
So I think it feeds into that fear. And yeah, Kane does a really good job of visualizing that, putting that on screen, of course, with the cast and crew. But yeah, I think it's a really effective movie. I don't think you have to know his Backrooms videos
No.
to enjoy
No,
the movie.
it's a good introduction.
It
Yeah.
helps, but you don't.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him, and I still enjoyed the film.
Yeah, so I watch I know all the lore and watch all the videos. So watching it, I get a bit more out of it. But I think if you've never heard of Backrooms before, you can easily watch this movie. It's what I was going to say was I like how it's brightly lit because that's what's scary about it is you can see everything in there. If they wanted to Hollywood Insidious, like
There's no darkness, no shadows.
they could have easily made everything really dark and dingy and jump scary, but they didn't do that.
Before we go any further with the cast and the crew and everything else, we might go to a very quick break.
Yes,
And we'll be back with more Backrooms right after these quick messages. You are back live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday Review, talking the Backrooms.
mm-hmm.
So we've waffled on enough. Let's tell the audience what I guess the story for this specific exploration of the Backrooms is. I'm going to get his name entirely wrong, but I've got the phonetic.
Chiwetel
Yes.
Ejiofor.
There we go.
Yeah.
Him. He
I
plays
know.
Clark.
Yeah.
I had the phonetic spelling.
I would
ready to go.
have
Yeah.
butchered it. Yeah.
And also Renata Reinsva is also not particularly easy. Yeah.
So they play Clark, the furniture store owner and failed architect.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
And
yeah.
He's not a failed
He is
architect.
a-
He
Damn
owned
it.
an architect, damn it. And also Renata Reinsva plays Dr. Mary Klein.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing? I'm doing my best.
Names are hard.
Names are hard. Dr. Mary Klein, his therapist. They're
Yeah.
the kind of two
So Clark,
main leads.
Clark was an architect, but he sort of started this crappy cheapo furniture store.
It's good value furniture, damn it.
to make ends meet. Yeah.
To make ends meet, to put his wife through, I think she's going to law school.
Yeah.
But he kind of resents her for that. He's also an alcoholic and a bit of a meanie, and so they've been divorced. And he's just basically stuck running this.
He's also
he's been kicked out of the house. He's living in this furniture store. He's running this crappy
He's kicked
furniture
out of the house
store.
that he pays for.
Yeah,
His house.
and he's in a fair amount of denial, and he doesn't
Yeah.
accept the situation he's
and
in.
he's seeing Dr. Mary Klein, the therapist, and one day he's in the sort of basement room of the furniture store, and he finds like the entrance to the back. He phases through the wall and finds an entrance to the back rooms, and he starts to explore it, and he brings it to Mary's attention. And meanwhile, Mary has suffered trauma in her life. Her mother was mentally ill and a shut-in, and sort of her upbringing as a child was not particularly great. And so she's trying to help people, but she's struggling to do that, and she's struggling to help Clark. And so Clark is exploring these rooms, which she thinks he might just be going crazy or whatever. But we find out there's this endless space, and there's maybe something down there. What does it have to do with, is it a figment of his imagination? But yeah, then there's Async, which is this company that's exploring down there. And it's interesting because I think the horror of the Backrooms is you kind of fall in by accident and you get trapped in there basically forever, and you can't really find your way out. But over the videos of Kane's Law and in the movie in particular, there's actually a fixed entry and exit point, which on one hand, I'm like, yeah, it makes it less scary because he can leave at any time.
I mean, yes and no.
But-
like it also lends an adventurous element to the horror too.
That's
the exploration.
I was gonna say, but also on the other hand, it's because it's the psychological element of like he goes in there to explore, and the more he's in there, the more he likes it.
Yeah.
And
So I wouldn't say it takes away from the horror. It just adds a different element.
yeah, I do.
Because you're still watching him make the horror also now becomes you watch him go back in and go further and go back in and go further, knowing that he should just ignore
and
it.
the environment gets stranger and stranger. Yeah.
Almost a little Heart of Darkness energy about it.
Yeah.
Like the further you go in, the weirder it gets.
And it's also like trying to figure out like what it is, why it's there, what's it for. Like,
And
is
the
it-
further you're traveling in, that's the increased likelihood of you getting lost.
yeah.
Like, even if you tie yourself with a rope and head on in there, like the rope's on the outside of the
yeah,
place.
and it gets weirder and more scary the further you go in.
Yeah.
So there's that element of it too, where the further you travel in, the
Yeah.
weirder and nastier it gets.
Yeah.
and the more nightmarish it becomes.
And I guess the movie could have just been, like a straight horror movie, falls in and, gets chased around by a monster. But they do a lot of work with Clark. He's an architect, so that ties into the space of the Backrooms. But he's also psychologically broken. And Mary is also, has trauma. And so it's like, is the Backrooms a metaphor for their mental state or whatever?
I like to think that it both is and isn't at the same time. Like it feeds off it and it warps this. What's the word? When it customizes itself to that particular person.
Yeah, it like feeds off
adapts.
memories. And Kane, he's not interested in the supernatural aspect of the Backrooms. He's like, it's more like a scientific phenomena, which I think is really interesting because it's like the Backrooms just is. It's this natural phenomena that just explores. Yeah. It exploded at some point, and it's feeding off the real world and trying to copy it and making these endless hallways and copies of copies of copies. And that feeds into the themes of the movie and the characters who feel like they're trapped in their lives and are doing the same thing over and over and are struggling to heal. I don't think it's perfect in terms of like the character work and that some of the dialogue is a bit clunky, but I think it works overall, and it kind of grounds it in two characters who you're like, you kind of get what they're going through. And if you're not familiar with the lore, you can go like, oh, it's all metaphorical or it's all from their mind. But yeah, then there's also this other aspect of a more hard sci-fi, like, oh, this is an actual place that has rules and can be explored and potentially explained, but they don't explain anything.
In terms of Clark's character, I think that they made him go from 0 to 100 real quick.
I don't want to spoil it, but I think because time in the back, they don't really explore this in the movie, which is a problem. But because time in the Backrooms doesn't work the same way,
there's also a time skip in the film as well. Yeah,
there's a time skip, but also like he's been in there a lot longer than we see on screen.
Yeah.
I think that's also maybe a problem with maybe the movie. It could be a little bit longer. I wish to see more of Clark exploring the Backrooms, being stuck down there.
He does some things which make him look negative.
Yeah.
And I think that if they were going to do that, they should have started to show that transition in his character earlier on. Or alternatively, just not really do it at all and make him more of a...
He does have a temper and stuff, but it does go quite extreme.
I think it goes to what James is saying. It could have been a bit longer with like maybe a montage of him going a bit crazy in the Backrooms or...
Yeah, and like...
Or something like that. Or
I would have liked him to have a couple more trips in the Backrooms solo.
Yeah.
Before...
Because he mentions it, but we don't get to see it. It like, skips ahead.
I would
He's
like
I've been going there.
Have him for... Then he talks to the therapist and stuff.
Yeah, I've been going down there every night, but we don't see
it.
I also would have liked a little bit more with Mary. We see her past, but it's like a bit... maybe after this halfway point of the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have liked it
earlier
on. And maybe I would have liked to see one of her other patients, how she's struggling to help them. Because she can't really help herself, which is like the whole kind of thing of her character.
I love the scene where it shows like there's a bit of concrete where she puts her hand in the concrete, and her mum puts her hand in the concrete, and then it's that scene where then like the rubble kind of crashes onto them, which is
there's some really great, and it feeds into the dream-like nightmarish quality of the Backrooms, of how when you dream sometimes it's like you're in a room that's familiar, but it's like not quite right. Or like a hallway that's a bit too long or too narrow. And Backrooms really feeds into that fear, that dream.
Well, that's kind of what the Backrooms is in a way.
Yeah,
it's just dream environments that you can physically explore.
Yeah, as we explore more in the movie, it's never really explained, but it's like that's kind of what the Backrooms...
There's a really, really great sequence. Two really great sequences, actually. The sequence where one of the furniture store characters is connected by a rope and goes exploring, and then a terrifying sequence in what they call the laundry.
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
The stuff he does with the hand cam sequences,
I think the best
parts of the film.
The best parts of the movie are the
scene where Clark is running through the back rooms with the camera. I was on the edge of my seat,
Yeah.
especially when you get to like the Christmas room.
Yeah, that was the best.
I was like, there was like palpable sense of dread even over the kids screaming.
Yeah.
I like one of my favorite Letterboxd reviews mentions that. It
Yeah.
says, white boys wearing crop tops in horror movies again, God bless.
Oh yeah. Was it Bobby? Bobby, the character Bobby. Yeah.
So big 90s horror movie energy
Yeah.
with hand cam white boys in crop tops.
Yeah, and he's got like the end
Yeah,
apartheid.
But yeah,
t-shirt.
like what I like about the Backrooms is I can say I really like the Christmas scene with and
It's a Christmas movie.
I'm not
Backrooms
spoiling-
Christmas movie.
I'm not spoiling
confirmed.
anything, and everyone knows exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I think
Um,
part of it's in the trailer, but yeah.
But like, yeah, the overwhelming sense of dread when you get to those lower rooms, especially when he's running through the different areas and you get there are like the little Easter eggs of like the pool level and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I
I like at the end, like there's the couch room, and
Yeah.
it's just so off. Like it's so it's like nothing, but also everything. Like it's scary,
Yeah.
but also not because it's
you're
scary
going
because it's not scary.
You're going, but it's also because you're going into an alien place,
Yeah.
and because the aliens don't understand how human beings think or were
Yeah,
designed,
the whole
it has this otherworldness that is unnerving
the
to
whole
look at.
thesis is stated in the movie. Like the whole thing of the Backrooms is like it's like explaining a dog to someone who's never seen a dog before, and then getting them to draw it.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of get it, but it's also just off.
I like to think the Backrooms is aliens trying to communicate with us, and like
That would be really interesting.
presenting like they're human beings. They like hallways. Here's a hallway.
What
it's
are
like-
human beings like hallways?
No, but you know what I
Couches
mean.
and
Yeah.
Christmas.
The thing I like,
Humans like Christmas.
yeah, the thing I like more is like a sentience to the Backrooms,
Yeah,
where it's a replication of space.
it's
Yeah,
like it's trying to
but-
communicate, but, it
it's
doesn't understand.
and it seems like it's a refreshing thing that it constantly has to
I feel
refresh
like
itself.
It also,
So
it's,
the
it's
replication is always a little bit off.
and also
Yeah,
the
as-
further,
it's like a living organism, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have sentience in like it's not evil or
No.
anything. It's just like
It's just existing.
it's a growing and
But
existing
like
and
like a
feeding.
human being, when your DNA replicates, there's always mistakes that happen.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
further
And you over time age
Cancer.
as a result and stuff.
aging, yeah.
And that's why like this whole back room is like aging in a way, and it's getting worse and worse.
more
Yeah,
wonky.
and-
Yeah,
yeah.
and the further you go on, the further it reflects your fears or kind
Yeah.
of
the darkest
Yeah.
the darkness
per-
of
parts
your
of your
psyche.
psyche. Yeah,
Before we get too far along, though, I do want to have an honourable shout out, memorable shout out, I should say, to the guy who's pressing the
the
lamp.
lamp, best character.
Yeah, you know the guy.
Yeah,
when there's a
the
scene where
lamp.
where some of the characters start to panic,
Yeah,
and like a lady figure runs into the corner and is freaking out,
Yeah.
and this guy in the chairs is
movie-
like turn the lamp off and on, and I was like, peak Lynch, awesome.
the movie's pretty weird, but then it becomes just a Lynch movie at some
Yeah.
point, and I'm kind of like, okay, wasn't expecting that.
On that, spoil. You know, I'm not gonna spoil it. But would you or would you not eat the marshmallow?
No, I wouldn't.
I don't know. See,
I kinda
I'm
wanna
so
try-
confused.
I kind of
because
want to try the marshmallow.
Ethically,
it looks nice.
you could get away with it, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't be breaking the
Also,
law.
without spoiling it, it's like we don't know if they're all like that.
Is it toxic?
Yeah,
Well, it's supposed
like-
to be food, right?
and we don't
Well,
know
is it?
how.
Well,
We don't
Is it
know
supposed
how
to be
long.
food?
How long? Well, Clark says you can eat it, but how long has he be down there? Do we?
Is
know,
that why
like-
he's crazy?
Yeah,
Forbidden
I think-
marshmallow. Oh,
Yeah, but
It looked like couch stuffing to me.
It did.
it raises more questions than it answers because Kane in interviews and stuff has been like, what's the difference between like soup and a table? Like, what do you consider food? And there's a bit where you see Clark has like scrawled a bunch of writing on a wall, and at some point it says like tables don't bleed, and it's like, so is he calling these things furniture and that he's like, oh, they don't bleed, they're not real? Or is he saying there is furniture that has been morphed with human like flesh and anatomy?
That'd be interesting.
There's so many questions. It's one of those
It's like the Rick and Morty with the universe with people at chairs.
yeah. It's like it's a movie that's designed to be like Kane's videos. It's
Rick
a
and
movie
Morty
that's
in the
designed
Backrooms
to
would be
be.
interesting.
I'm sure that
Quick in and out in the backrooms, Morty.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, jeez,
if
Rick.
th- if
I mean,
that-
they can do it.
I
There's
don't
no
think they've done it.
there's no-
They
there's
haven't
no
done it
IP.
officially, but surely there's like memes
Yeah.
of that out
There's,
there.
and it's hot right now.
There's a new season coming out.
There's no
so-
reason they can't do it
Yeah.
legally.
But
Surely.
yeah, there's so much potential with Backrooms and where you can go, and there's so many questions raised that aren't answered. And when the movie ended, I was like, this needed to be one, a bit longer, but two, I need a second movie.
Well,
ASAP.
It's
when you're
funny.
cooking in the back
And-
rooms.
That-
and I
it's funny,
know-
apparently Kane Parsons is like, I'm probably going to go back to YouTube.
Yeah, but for now he's like for
this
now.
movie made $118 million. I think I'm doing
He's
right.
like, for now, like, I'm still going to be making stuff,
Yeah.
backroom stuff on YouTube, and our
Good on him.
A24 is like cool, and that's awesome. But also, he's like, oh, but now I have this avenue for like a 10-part, series or something, like a more prestigious, like the movie, and sort of continuing the story
Yeah.
on in a more prestigious, high budget
God
fashion.
willing, it'll be an Apple original.
well, the beauty of it
Well,
is
A24 makes shows on Netflix. I don't know if
Yeah.
they've released it on other.
like again, given how the Backrooms operates, there's bound to be multiple entry points.
Yeah,
Right.
well, we
So-
hardly see anything with async in this.
So again, like there could be a ton of other people's
Well,
adventures
I
in
think
there.
you know that's true
This-
because there's a couple of points when you see that there's a cardboard cutout figure
Yeah,
with like a welcome kind of message. Every time you see one of those figures, you're near an entrance, right? That's the kind of implication
yeah, or at least a checkpoint that async is.
connecting to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we see in the movie that's not explained. If you know the behind the scenes lore, you get more out of it. But also, it's just left to the imagination. I think a lot of that's cool because it's more scary and the more you answer, the less scary it gets. But also, like, after the last scene of the movie and like when it ended, I was like, damn, we really need a second one to keep going and explore more. Mark Duplass plays a character that I was like, he has to come back. Like, this has
he's
to
so
be
great.
this has to be an ongoing thing.
I wouldn't be against a movie in this Backrooms universe through the point of view of Mark Duplass or
Yeah.
async.
Well, I hope that his character, even if some of the other characters don't return, his character will be a sort of through point of like that connects them all. Also, what's interesting,
Almost like a Half-Life kind of vibe about
yeah,
it, right?
and
Also, there'll
Kane
be-
is very influenced
Yeah.
by that. Also, Portal 2, like the Ratman drawings on the wall, like
They're gonna have
this
the
is
pirate
very-
on trial in the next movie, and he'll be like, "What is the charge? Eating a marshmallow? It's like killing Backrooms marshmallow."
Yeah, but just on a technical level, this movie is incredible.
Again, for the
Oh, I
quote
should-
unquote low budget,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a marvel.
all up on screen. We've talked about this before. You don't need a bajillion dollars and CGI crap everywhere. You just need a good vision and good storytelling and good production and
Low budget. We're
design.
eating with low budget horror
yeah.
this year.
I should mention that I went and saw it twice because I liked it so much. I was like, even though I had problems with it, I was like, it was just so fascinating to me, and I wanted to see it again and get the Easter eggs and stuff. And I saw it again, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really, really cool. It's one of those movies where it's not like a movie that automatically I'm like 5 stars. This is my new favorite movie. But I keep thinking about it, and I want to keep watching it and rewatching it, and I want to get
It's
on.
that fertile idea where
Yeah,
it plants
and
a
it's so much
seed.
potential. Yeah,
It plants a seed, and then you're just thinking, what else is it? We talked about before, like old school sci-fi and fantasy stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
what else is out there? And
Yeah.
then, like when Star Wars came out, the original Star Wars, kids would have been like, I can't wait
Yeah.
for Empire. What other Jedi are out there? What's going on?
Yeah, what else is it?
And then suddenly your entire
sandbox. It's a sandbox.
Yeah, a sandbox.
Yeah.
Your entire personality is suddenly Star Wars.
But also, what I like, what also I like about it is Kane has an idea of what he's doing. He has rules that he's following. He doesn't retcon things, and he has apparently he has an ending in mind for this whole story and saga, and he's kind of working his way back through that. So it's like it's not like other movies or franchises or IPs or whatever, where it's like you come up with this cool idea and then you just have no idea what to do or what you
It's
do.
not
No
Game of
J.J.
Thrones
Abrams.
And things, yeah, exactly. It's not a mystery box thing. It's not like things contradict, different entries contradicting each other. It's like this one unified vision. So I'm really excited to see what he does next, not just in the Backrooms, but just anything in general, whether
Yeah.
it be on YouTube. But yeah, I hope A24, because this movie is doing so well, I hope we get a new movie or an actual proper, series real soon, sooner rather than later.
Well, I look forward to watching it again when it comes to streaming, and hopefully I'll
Yeah.
get the full experience next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you get a better experience than not screaming and.
Look, kudos to the movie for doing so well. Kudos to my local cinema for making fat stacks.
Man,
Well, yeah.
Like the cinema was literally full. Like they're laughing.
unfortunately, this is
Yeah.
what happens.
Well,
when
my screenings were full, but a nice.
you make mid-budget movies.
Yeah.
You don't waste $200 million on a Goku film.
Yeah.
Sorry, Disney.
Yeah.
No
No
one's going to
no one
see it.
cares about the new Star Wars film. How crazy is that?
I'd rather see a 20-something-year-old make some kind of low-budget horror, in quotation marks,
Yeah.
low-budget horror movie about something interesting.
Yeah, we've completely stopped seeing the Marvel movies. We're like, what's the point? They're just Disney Plus $300 CGI slop. So it's like, yeah, all the interesting movies are the mid and low budget stuff. It's what we've always been talking about.
Yeah. So the Backrooms, it is
Great,
pretty
movie,
much
very
deserving of the
interesting.
hype. Go
Yeah.
see it.
I also want to mention the music because Kane does all the music for his shorts, and he did the music with another composer, Edo Van. My IMDb just died, but yeah, he does a music with someone else in this movie. It's incredible.
I'll have to listen to it when I get an opportunity.
Yeah, because
we couldn't hear the score really.
yeah, the whole score is on YouTube officially, so you can listen to the soundtrack that way. But yeah, I think it's one of my favorite soundtracks in recent memory, and
Excellent.
yeah, and plus the sound design, yeah, all the technicals of this movie, top notch. It's just maybe some of the story I would reorder or expand, or I think a couple things I would have done a bit differently. But otherwise, incredible movie. I'm, really.
We'll rewatch 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
We're just about out of time. Thanks for listening, everyone. You can catch us on some of the social media garbage at Tuesday Review AU on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Blue Sky. We're also on YouTube at Tuesday Review AU and all the wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, subscribe, ring that bell.
Tuesday Review AU. We're also on Letterboxd. I'm Nathan B_90.
I'm channeldrifter.
I'm LM20.
And I'm Callum Tuesday.
And keep an eye out. There's some exciting things happening in the near to medium future.
We'll have some exciting announcements very soon.
Yes. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. Adios, cousins.